Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has begun meeting cabinet ministers and party allies after scoring a landslide victory in the country's general elections. He's been given a second-term mandate that's larger than the one that he secured in the last election, and this was back in 2014.
Official results from the Election Commission are still coming in, but the BJP has already won 302 parliamentary seats. It is leading in one more seat, which it is widely expected to win.
The opposition Congress party suffered major losses and only secured 52 seats. Congress chief Rahul Gandhi conceded defeat to his family's long-held seat in Amethi. However, he did win a seat in Kerala, a second constituency that he was permitted to run in under election rules.
Several foreign governments have congratulated Mr. Modi on his re-election. It is likely that he will be sworn in for his second term next week, with a challenging to-do list ahead of him. For the latest, let's cross over to Rebecca Bundan from Mumbai. Rebecca, any indication on who Mr. Modi will appoint to his new cabinet? Yeah, Rebecca, just to quickly ask you, any indication on who Mr. Modi will appoint to his new cabinet?
Yes, we are getting some indications on that. We don't have the firm details yet, but there is a lot of talk about fresh new faces coming in, replacing some of those older figures. There is some speculation, there is no confirmation of this, I have to say, but there is speculation that Arun Jaitley, for example, he's the finance minister, that he may end up not being the finance minister anymore once a new government is formed, and that's because of poor health. Last year, Mr. Jaitley had a kidney transplant, and he's been in very, very poor health for quite some time now. So there is a lot of talk about him perhaps not being part of that new cabinet due to health reasons. Also, for similar reasons, Sushma Swaraj, who's the external affairs minister, again talk about, again due to poor health, that she might not be part of it. But certainly we're hearing that Smriti Irani, who beat Rahul Gandhi, the Congress president, for that seat in Amethi, she's likely to play a very key role, likely to be rewarded for that victory with some kind of promotion. So we'll see new figures like that coming in. And then some of the old faces, Nitin Gadkari, Nirmala Sitharaman, Ravi Shankar Prasad, the law minister, these are all likely to be people that will continue to be very much part of Modi's team. But we're still waiting to hear exactly who will make up the cabinet, but certainly we're likely to see some people being shuffled around and those new faces coming in.
Well, Rebecca, we know that Mr. Modi has a very challenging and long to-do list, but do we know what policy issues he's going to prioritize in his second term?
That's right. Now the work has to begin, really, once again. So there are a number of issues, a number of challenges that India is facing, and that Narendra Modi will have to deal with as he comes back to power. On the top of the agenda will have to be foreign policy, of course, also the promises that he made in his campaign. If we look, he talked about $1.4 trillion of investment in infrastructure. So people are going to wait to see some movement on those kind of promises. He talked about a lot about national security. That was a very, very key plank of his campaign. So again, voters are going to want to see what's he going to deliver on that, what's he going to do to improve and boost security in the country, having talked about that extensively in his rallies across India. Now, there are also those themes of jobs and the economy. Unemployment has been a massive problem in India, and India has a young population. Half the population is under the age of 25. You've got 1 million people entering the workforce every month, and generally the mood is that the country hasn't been so happy, and the figures suggest that the unemployment rate has been quite high under Narendra Modi. So that's again going to be something that needs to be addressed. A lot of people that we've spoken to have said that 5 years was not necessarily enough to solve some of the problems, but in the next 5 years people are going to want to see results delivered. The economy as well. that's another major concern, because although economic growth has been relatively strong, in the last quarterly data to the end of December, that actually slowed to 6.6%. And there are concerns about consumer spending and so on. That's going to have to be addressed. Farmers' issues as well. Narendra Modi has promised to boost farmers' incomes by 2022, double those by 2022. So what's he going to do to improve the lives of farmers in the country?
Well, indeed, no honeymoon for Mr. Modi. He's going to jump right in. Thank you so much, Rebecca Bundan, for that update, speaking to us in Mumbai.